Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're gonna be transplanting some cabbage, maybe a couple other little things, but come on along and let's get to it. Hey guys, before we get into the video, I wanted to thank my buddy over at Backyard Boogie Homestead. Sent me this cool shirt. Oh, and check out, it's got the salty dog on the sleeve, baby. Yeah. Hey, I'm out here representing. I'm gonna put his page down below. He's growing fast. Y'all got to get on board. All right, guys. Today, this is what we transplanting right here. I got some scarlet kale down here that's looking real good. This Blue Ridge kale is looking amazing. The cabbage is looking amazing. And the lacinato kale is looking, you guessed it, amazing. So yeah, we about to put this out today. And some of these little ones, like this one right here, I'm just gonna skip over those for right now, and I'll transplant them later. But pretty much all of the Blue Ridge is going, all of the cabbage is going, and all of the kale is going. Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pluck these up out of here. That one's got some decent roots on it. That was a little on the small side. But as you see, the roots are nice and white. That's good.
Daisies blooming, sundress swaying in the breeze. I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope that you never decide to set me free. The way you're moving has got me moving my own feet. The greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me.
Well, the first thing I did was I came out here and I watered everything in really nice. I think that's super important to get your soil nice and moist, and prepare it for receiving the transplant. Also, on the inside, when I was selecting transplants, I only want the healthiest, strongest transplants. Everything else I leave in the greenhouse. That just gives the plant a better start to be able to handle the elements. Now, if you notice, well, you probably didn't notice or didn't know, I did not harden anything off. Um, I'm not telling you to not harden anything off, but from my experience, hardening off plants that have been grown in the greenhouse is not necessary. That's my viewpoint. You get a lot of viewpoints on that on YouTube, so y'all do what y'all want. So now I have to determine where I want to start planting at and my plant spacing. So the good thing about having this drip irrigation is that each emitter is 6 inches apart. So I know, I don't have to come out here with a tape measure or something to measure this out. I'm gonna pull this over this way just a little bit. I need to get some staples to staple in the ground, but my first one is gonna go right here, and I'm doing cabbage first, and then I'm gonna do them every um, 18 inches because the cabbage gets kind of big. You could probably get away with 12. I'm sorry, 12. Yeah, with 12 inches, but I'm gonna do every 18 inches. And I made a little indentation right there, perfect for that seedling to press right down in there, and bam. I'm disturbing the roots as little as possible. So every third emitter is where I'm planting. It's that easy, y'all.
Let's not waste time, we'll take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth.
4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 cabbages. Now I could have done like a zigzag and did it like every foot, but that's gonna be good right there. I also have this bed. Here, let me get you up here. I also have this bed over here that I could plant some cabbage in, because right now I'm not planting anything in that bed. I was gonna do cabbage here and kale there, but I'm gonna end up putting the kale back up there in that first bed all over again. I just harvested kale from there, and I think it did well there, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in there. All right, so we're back up here at the first bed, and I just got my elephant garlic in there, so I'm gonna plant around the elephant garlic and just kind of go like, one there, one there. I'm not really gonna measure it out, just gonna kind of place them in there. I can come and place them in the middle in there as well. These don't need to be spread out too far, but I only have a few, and so I'm gonna spread them out, and then the ones that are still in the greenhouse, as those mature, I can bring them out here and plop them in. Now this soil right here, so all this on top, doesn't really matter. You get down in here, I've got some nice rich soil down in there, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dig down in there. I get deep enough, and then let's see, put one of the lacinato kales down in there, just like that. Perfect. Now what I don't want to do is cover these up too far. So I'll just leave the excess up on the sides like that, kind of away from the plant. And y'all, I'm telling you, these are gonna explode. Let me get these ready. And I only got one more lacinato, so I'm gonna put that one over there.
You and I as one will always be better than two. Leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, we'll take this slow.
All right, y'all, something that is very important. Can't miss it. You have to fertilize your new seedlings. Now, this soil already has fertilizer in it from when I cleared the bed before and covered it with this mulch. I already put some bone meal and blood meal down in there. Now let me tell you the importance of that. This takes a while to break down, so it's good to do it beforehand, and then when you go to plant, you put some more down there, and now by the time this breaks down, they'll be done using the fertilizer that I already have in the soil. So I just work it in a little bit into the top right there. We got rain coming on Wednesday, so I got a good feeling that the rain will work all this down in there. I'm gonna water it in a little bit today, and that will be it. Also, the rain that we're gonna get on Wednesday, so the day is Monday. We're getting rain on Wednesday. Um, it may be a heavy rain, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on these and make sure that the rain doesn't beat them down too bad. But I don't foresee it being too much of an issue. 2 days later, hopefully they have kind of strengthened themselves up a little bit, and we'll see. I'll let y'all know if it goes bad or if it goes good. And I got to put some fertilizer down now on my cabbages that I just put out.
Miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Take this slow, we've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two.
Since I'm in here doing some transplanting, I'm gonna go ahead and transplant these hops as well. I'm gonna transplant them into a container. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right. Well, I had some extra raised garden bed soil left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in here. See where we're at. Oh. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. And so let me put a little fertilizer down in there. Because obviously this ain't had any fertilizer in it. Or I should say this hasn't had any fertilizer in it. My mama would appreciate me correcting that. All right, so I heard that these things spread pretty well. This is my first time growing them. I mean, it's got some roots on that joker. That's for sure. So it's probably gonna explode as soon as I put it in here. All right, let me get that watered in. Nice, nice. All right, well, I'm looking forward to see how that does, and I don't know exactly how I plan on using them. Um, it was in a medicinal herb collection that I bought, so I decided to grow them. and we'll see. I got to see how they can be used medicinally. I'm definitely not growing hops for making any alcohol or anything like that. For those of y'all that know my history, this is a no alcohol establishment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what I can do with those. I got to do some research on it. All right, there you have it. So pretty simple process, but there's some things that you just cannot overlook. Number one, something that I do, I like to water the beds prior to me putting my transplants in the bed. You don't want to put your transplants into a dry bed, and the reason why is because all that moisture will get sucked away from your seedling and will make the transplant shot a little bit harder for that plant. Then pick it may sound simple, but pick the strongest seedlings. They're gonna have the best go at it, even if you don't have enough to complete your row or your area or whatever. Always pick the strongest, leave the weakest in, and then transplant them out later. Always fertilize. The way that I like to do it is I like to put a pre-plant in weeks in advance and let it break down so that when I transplant, the plant is ready to uptake the nutrients, and then I put another dose of fertilizer in when I plant it, and that will feed the plant. A month, maybe 2 weeks to a month from now, that will start feeding the plant. So the plant never goes without nutrients. Make sure you get your spacing right. As you saw with the kale, I didn't space those too far apart because they don't need that much space. They're a vertical growing plant, so those types of plants don't need that much spacing. Now for my cabbage, it's a lateral growing plant, so it's going to need some elbow room so it doesn't affect the plant next to it. I did 18 inches. You could even do 24 inches just to be safe on that. So anyway, I hope the video was informative. Hey, it's spring. Well, it's not spring yet, but I finally got some transplants in the ground. Y'all, I got that transplant itch. You know what I'm saying? I'm itching to transplant and get stuff growing. So, yeah, I got those in the ground, and soon I'll be getting tomatoes and peppers and all those in the ground. But that's for a later video. Don't forget to give Backyard Boogie Homestead a shout. Go ahead and check him out. Up and coming channel. 2 weeks ago he was at 50 subscribers, and now he's at 120. He's growing fast. I love his content, short, sweet, to the point, and he's got a good thing going on over there. So let's go and check his page out. And hey brother, I appreciate the shirt. You even put the salty dog on the side. I was tripping when I saw that. I saw the salty dog on the side. I said, oh man. I said, I got to put that in the video today. So, hey, thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you do all the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.